Hey, welcome to another whiskey review, and today it's going to be the Deanston Highland Single Malt Scotch whiskey. Hey, SG Alcohol Guy here, making use of my wines and spirits certification to give you honest reviews on the alcohols that I am tasting. As mentioned, today we're going to be looking at the Deanston Highland Single Malt Scotch Whisky. So it's a Scotch whisky, meaning it's from Scotland, and it's a single malt, meaning they used a single malt to, distill this whisky. As you can see, it's pretty light colored. So let's see how it tastes like. But before that, let's take a look. So this Deanston Highland Single Malt Scotch Whisky is a 700 ml bottle, 70 cl, and is at the alcohol content of 46.3%. Okay, it also shows a pregnant lady drinking, but with a cancellation sign, so no drinking when pregnant. And recycle the bottle when done. The reason why I have this at home is because I have actually ordered this many times at a whiskey bar in Singapore. And when I was there, this bottle set me back 180 Singapore dollars. But then I went online and I managed to buy this bottle, 700 ml, 46.3% alcohol, at 74.50 Singapore dollars. That is $110 cheaper. So that also explains why all my videos are filmed at home, because it's just a lot cheaper to purchase it, have it at home, and then do a review about it. I can do the review outdoors, but it's a bit too pricey for that. In order to preserve my whiskey a little bit longer, I shall use this and pour out a tinier amount for this review. Just a small amount, There you go. Immediately, you can see it's a really, really light colored whiskey. Now this is distilled, matured and bottled in Scotland, and it promises, now I'm letting it breathe, right? So as it breathes, let me explain.
It says this is from open Deanston virgin oak to awaken aromas of heather honey, vanilla, green apples, citrus zest with hints of sweet malt and spice. Pour, sip and savor. Flavors of candied fruits, vanilla and soft creamy topping, while subtle hints of ginger and clove delight. Pause and let the finish of spices, honey malt, citrus and sweet oakiness roll over your tongue.
So this light-colored whiskey promises at least 15 flavors. Now, as usual, you're supposed to swirl the whiskey in a glass, and instead of stuffing your nose into the glass to nose it like you do for wines, you just swirl it while you inhale over the glass. And I can tell you now, it does have a slightly sweet scent, but rather than giving me a very smooth feel like the Nika whiskey last week, this has a slightly drier aftertaste. And also as you swirl, you take your time to see the legs coming down the sides of the glass. In this case, it actually drips down really, really quickly. It just drops right back to the liquid almost immediately. So this tells you that the finish probably won't be as long, maybe in this case about 5 to 7 seconds. But taste test. There's a whiskey burn. And I have to admit, there's a few layers to the taste. The tip of my tongue, I can feel it a little bit sweet. But then it gets a little bit tangy at the sides of my tongue. Plus the whiskey burn, coming down to my throat. But it doesn't go very far down. The whiskey burn sort of ends here, sort of following the finish, the legs of the whiskey. So what I feel about this whiskey is, it's the kind of whiskey where if you are in an air-conditioned room, like a whiskey bar, or even on a rainy day at home, where the temperature is a little bit colder, this would be a perfect whiskey for that weather. It's a little bit warm today, so the moment I have this whiskey burn, I'm actually feeling myself trying to perspire, and I perspire really easily. So this is not a whiskey for a warmer weather. But if you are watching this in a colder climate and a colder temperature country, get the Deanston Highland Single Malt Scotch Whisky. It's really good for a colder weather. Hey, thanks for watching up to this point. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, do help me click on the like button. Do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. More importantly, drop me some comments. Let me know what you think about the Deanston Highland Single Malt Scotch Whisky. And well, let's compare notes. In the meantime, happy drinking.